Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Kez Hurst, and today I'm going to do some cash condensing, which basically means taking any cash out of my binders and putting the money back in the bank to earn interest, and also with the money that I take to put it back in the bank to try and then make my denominations that are left in my envelopes into higher notes. So I did show you the other day that I had oversized wallets for my new purse, and I've cut the bottoms and the tops off, and then I've just printed some card on my computer. This is food, and then I've used my Japanese washi tape, which is beautiful. I was talking to my mum, who's in the UK, about the washi tape, because my daughter-in-law sends my mum washi at Christmas, and she said that out of all the washi she has, the quality of the Japanese washi is really good. And a little bit of a trivia is that where my son and daughter-in-law live in Okayama in Japan is where washi was invented. A young woman wanted a tape that was easy to tear, and spoke to the sellotape factory down the road, and washi was born. So we've got food, we've got a cafe wallet, and back to the bank. And the reason I'm bringing these out is because this goes back to the bank. This is my grocery money from the other day. So I've got out my placeholders. These are placeholders, and so you place these in your envelopes instead of cash. And then because I've got some large notes here, I can then go ahead later and change some of the smaller notes up. There we go. So it's got lots of nice little bits and bobs. It's got a little zipper in it, and these fit now really nicely into that section without interfering with the zip. So let's go to my long-term savings. All right, so I've electronically transferred the money into a savings account, and so now I have got in the bank 605. So I'm now going to cash this, put this all back in the bank too. Now I've put my council rates back into the bank. I've transferred, sorry, I did my electronic transfer on what was the 16th of February, 16th of March, April. I don't even know what day it is. So the 16th of April, I put 175 in there, and I've got 605 in the account. So I've got 100, 200, 350, 70, 90, 410, 420, 430. And if I get my calculator, that's not right, because it says there I should have 430. So 100, 200, 300, 2, 4, 6, 70, 80, 430. Yep, there we go. So 430 plus the 430 plus the 175 equals 605, and that's correct. So this will go back to the bank and be safe for earning interest in the bank in between paying the rates. And I will leave this in here because I might put some extra funds in there. If I say sell something, I might put an extra $20 in there. So that's up to date. I should now have 320 plus 320 plus the 190 I put in electronically, which equals 510, and that's not correct. So 510, I don't know where that's gone wrong. I think I've just not been able to do maths, but anyway, I know this is correct. So 320 in cash is going back to the bank. I'll put my placeholders back. And again, I will go through here and just add these up again. It might be that I've just calculated wrong, but I'll do that offline. Again, I'll leave this envelope in here, so if I have any spare cash from selling things, I can add a bit more in. So those two have gone back to the electronic version. So let's start paying some money into the bank. So in here we have $90. So I'm not going to do that, but I will change those 4 10s to 20s. So we've got $90 in there. So once I get to either 50 or 100, I then pay it into the bank. Miscellaneous, my website wasn't working, but it wasn't because it was due fees. It's not due to be paid till August. Apparently it was to do with my domain. So they sent me instructions, and apparently in a couple of days it should sort itself out. It was coming up as a not secure site. And that's my crafty sort of website. And it's, if you're interested in going along to have a look, it's basically www.kazhurst.co.nz. So that's fully funded for next time, and hopefully I've sorted out the problems. Registrations, I'm going to leave this in cash, but I'm going to change that 2 10s there to 20. And again, when that gets to 50, I shall put it into the bank. So cash condensing is my favourite bit because you get to play with money. You get to put money into the bank so you can see how much you've saved. Oh, where's that 50 go that I had? Here we go. So vacation has 50, so that's going into the bank to earn interest in my savings account. And the placeholder will let me know what I've got in the bank. We've gone through those two. Sort that out. Debt has nothing in it yet. And then the emergency fund, which was absolutely demolished, has 50 in the bank, and then we've got $50 there. So we're going to swap that out for a $100 place note. So that's really good, $100 in my emergency fund again. Only 900 to go. So that's my long-term savers, and such a difference. It really makes the wallets quite thin. Now going into my revolving bits and bobs. Now I tend to keep this in cash a little bit, but I've got to pay my doctor still hasn't sent me a text, so I know I owe them $50, and I know I owe them $15, so that needs to go back to the bank. 65 back to the bank. No, can't do that because I've only got, I'm going to put $50 in the bank. Let's do that. I haven't quite got the 100. So I can pay the $50 when it comes through, and then I've still got, change those, I've still got 45 there. And as I said, I'm going to the doctor's before I head over to the UK, so I'll have another $50 to pay. So I should have enough to pay my GP this time, next time, and my 2 B12 shots, one I had the other day and one I shall have before I leave. The $50 there, which can go back to the bank. I'll take out a 50. So now in dental and contact lenses, we've got 550, 65. So that's quite good. Miscellaneous and hobbies, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So I might just change out, leave those nicer ones there. So we've got 15 left in there, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, oh, I can't do this, 150, there we go. So 150 is going back to the bank. I'm quite, so 150, let me concentrate. So 150 is back to the bank. I did shorten these up so they fit in, so there's 165 in there. So that's really nicely condensed, that one now. Right, car. How much cash have I got in here? 25, so I've got 325, so it can stay in there. As I said, I only put the 50s back. 325 is correct. Cohen, that can go back to the bank, I think, 50. 150, 70, 90, 110, 130, 145. So if we put 100 back in the bank, I can go and buy his kitty litter. Now, I did get a comment from a friend, Sally. Thank you, Sally, for your comment on Cohen's kitty litter. I haven't been yet, but I'm going to pop along to Mitre 10, which is our local DIY centre, and they do kitty litter at quite a reasonable price and in a great big bag, and it's the same as what I buy from the pet store. So he will get a nice big bag of kitty litter. So we've got 10 in beauty, 10 in clothing, and 10 in house maintenance, so these can stay. And then we go over to the challenges. Eating out has very little in it. That's got very little in it, very little in it. There's $50 in there, which I will take back to the bank. I'll put a placeholder in, so 20, 40, 50. I don't like having any cash in the house if I can. And then in this one we've got infinity. And we've got 65, so we'll put 50 back in the bank. In the bank there, and I'm going to do on this post-it note $50, and I'll find a placeholder. There we go. And then let's see what's in my birthday. $80, so that's not ready to go back. There's 50 already in the bank. Right, so that's my condensing and back to the bank done. And as you can see, my piece of paper is blank. I haven't written any of it down. Anyway, let's see what we're taking back to the bank. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 50, 600. Oh, I feel like I didn't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 600 in 50s. 600. Count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 200, 4, 6, 8, 300. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 170. And 5, 10, 20, 30, 45, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So now I can put that 50 in here. There we go. I condensed all my envelopes before I went on holiday, and I've done one cash stuffing since coming back from holiday. And in that month, I have saved $1,120 towards my bills and my spending and a bit of savings. So I've got $1,120 going into my bank account to earn interest that would have probably sat in my bank account and been spent randomly on different things. But because I'm doing this, I don't spend. I save for everything. And then when I do overspend, I make sure that I record my debt to myself and I pay it back. So hopefully by the time I cash stuff next week, I think I get paid again, or is it the week after? No, 2 weeks' time I get paid. So the beginning of May, I would have finalised what I owe myself. I'll then fill in my debt sheet and then go hard at the selling. I've got 6 weeks and 4 days before I fly to the UK. So I've got 6 weeks of sorting, selling. I might even do a garage sale perhaps to get rid of some stuff. So this journey is going to be amazing. Going overseas and seeing how much I can save while I'm working overseas. And then when I come back to New Zealand in a year's time, hopefully be able to pay off a little bit of my mortgage so that I'm not paying it till I'm 81. Perhaps I might finish it when I'm 71. So if you like my content, please share, subscribe and like, thumbs up. And I want to say a special hello to all my new viewers. I put the shout out and lots of you came forward, and I'm now up to 22 subscribers. Once I get to 50, I'll be able to go live. So I really, really appreciate it. And if you can keep sharing the word, let's get me out there doing some lives when I'm overseas. Okay, I'll say goodbye and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, just jumping back in here. Seems that somehow my calculations are all off. So I've gone back in after doing that video on cash condensing, and discovered a couple of things. So most of them are pretty good until we get to this one. So what's happened is I added in 120 from the contents that I was saving elsewhere, and then I've taken out 406, which left me with this odd number. And because I don't do coins, what I've done is I've now rounded it up to, instead of being 504, I've put it in at 505. So once I've redone these numbers, there's 505 in there, and that's now correct in the bank. So I sorted that out in there. Then I found an even bigger mess, because somewhere I've got this $10 note. I don't know where it comes from. It's not in my calculations, but it's going to go back into the bank. I also did some dentist, and as you can see, it's all out of whack, but eventually it ends up at 565, and it was saying 545. So we've got 565 in there, and I've done all the figures again. I think again, because I took money out of a savings account rather than out of cash to pay the dentist, and then it's all got a bit muddled. So I've redone this a few times, and it's now 565, which is correct. And then this is where the mess was, and there's an extra $10. So a couple of things have been happening in this one. Let's turn it up. I used to put $60 a fortnight in, and I've gone down to 30. Not quite sure why, but that's okay, because I've missed a few classes. I did take some money out of it for my overspend in Japan. I'll tell you what I've got for my craft stash, really. I might do that on the end of here. But as you can see, almost every line has been corrected. And this here, it's really unsure whether it's a minus or an addition. And yeah, so I've calculated it all out and then found this extra $10 in here. And so what I've recalculated it is that I've got $165, and that's $150.65. So that's now correct. Because I'm going overseas, I am going to drop this down to $30 a fortnight, and I'll need to make an adjustment in my budget book because I've actually got enough money here to pay for 4 classes. And but I will still keep putting 30 in just in case I need some odd craft bits before I go. You never know what you need in 6 weeks. Look at all that going back to the bank. Isn't that lovely? Oh, this feels so good. So that's all going into savings. So if you want to hop off now, I'll say goodbye. But let's have a look what I got in Japan just for some crafty things. So this is one of those dot arts. And as you can see, they've gone everywhere. So I started this last night because I'd stopped coughing and felt like I needed to just get out of bed and sit up a bit. But what I didn't realise is that they're actually stickers. This is crazy. Right, let's start again. So what I hadn't realised when I bought this, it's in Japanese, but that's okay. It's actually stickers. So I've done a bit, as you can see. But as you can see, look, when you've finished, you just peel it off and they become stickers. How cute is that? So I really love that. And I thought I was just buying the penguin, but actually you get all these other bits of sea life as well. And I did go to the aquarium while I was in Japan, and you know, might actually put a couple of these in my scrapbook page. So that was the first thing I bought. Well, one of the things I bought. Myself a Japanese cat, and it's Lego, age 12. But it's not Lego, it's petite block, but I presume it's like Lego. They have lots of this sort of crafty stuff, so I thought that'd be quite good over the next 6 weeks to keep my mind off all the stress of moving. Got some stickers. I signed up for an email account in Japanese. Yama, where my family live, is famous for its denim. So I got I might take it out of the shiny bit. I got some denim washi with a postcard, which I thought was really cool. So it helps you see what the washi tape is like. And then the washi shop I was in it's really hard to take any photographs in there because you feel like you shouldn't. But basically this is their store from floor to ceiling. Now if you're a washi lover, that will really do it. But, so you've got this picture on the tape. What I like about Okayama washi is it's where it was made, it's where it's been invented, and it's just gorgeous and it's so thick. This one here is individual houses on a runner. So you can see all those little houses on a runner. Can't wait to use that one. Some of these you won't be able to see. This one is the one I've already started to use. And if I just do this, you can see how really nice and strong. They use washi like sellotape. So they never have any sellotape, it's always washi. This one's some writing, and this is Japanese trees and things. I've got this one which is also individual pieces. I might open that up because it's really nice if you can see it at the wrapper. And as you can, I don't want to break it. Hours of fun. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Butterflies. I didn't realise they're all stuck together, so that is a bonus. That is beautiful. I like that a lot. This is some more Japanese houses. Do you think I like washi? Yep. Let's clear this off. My haul. This is actually a measuring tape in black, and I also bought a measuring tape in pink because you know you just can't get enough, can you? Tape. This one is inks. Is it ink? It's hard to see in the wrappers, but I don't want to unwrap them. I haven't got in a box for them yet. And then the last washi is, again, Japanese pots and pans. Just looks so cute. Be so good for my mixed media. I then bought, I've got given a sticker in a shop, and then I bought these, which are little marker stickers. So you've got the lucky cat, the lucky money. My granddaughter said this is the sad man. Don't know, it's these are all symbols of Japan. And then we had animals. Love my animals, my penguins and things. So that was my little stash from Japan.